because you have to speak on behalf. Not everybody has that microphone in front of their face. And I think as women in sports, we can represent so many different groups, right? Yeah, so it goes both ways. It goes both ways. I think at times because we're athletes, because we're asked questions, we have microphones in front of our face, we're on national television, it's a responsibility you kind of have to take.
She was asked, how did you stand up for women everywhere? What is that like to have to answer those questions and know that answering them is also...
Did you know that while Angel Reese was tied up with photo shoots, Caitlin Clark's team was quietly pushing toward the playoffs? That's no coincidence. Sue Bird is now speaking out, breaking down exactly why one rookie is thriving while the other seems to be falling behind. Before we dive deeper, quick favor, if you're enjoying this content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. More than 98% of viewers watch without subscribing, and while it's totally free, it makes a huge difference in helping us grow.
I'm all for it. I think it's great. They've come in and they've taken over.
I know you've had to answer a lot of questions about this moment in women's sports.
The looks, it wasn't getting, people weren't covering it. So the fact that these two, they literally stole the college stage, both with their play and their trash talk, and then they're taking it into the WNBA. It's just going to mean good things for the rest of the landscape of women's basketball. To your point, there have been these pivotal moments, and I think what we've seen is a peak, and then sadly some sort of drop off after. We didn't have enough.
But here's where things get crazy. Sue Bird isn't holding anything back. She's directly calling out Angel Reese, pointing to her heavy focus on Instagram, and the reasons behind it might surprise you. So the real question is, how does social media fame stack up against actual performance on the court? Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is making noise where it matters most, on the hardwood. Let's break it all down, because what's happening in women's basketball right now feels unreal. It's like two completely different games are being played at the same time.
Take it away. What's up? What's on your mind?
Well, Angel Reese, she's scheduled to play in the new 3-on-3 league that's coming up. The unrivaled basketball season is starting this month, but she came under some scrutiny.
You had some stuff on your mind involving Angel Reese and what have you. So usually I'm the one that introduces the subject, but I'm going to turn around and give the floor to you since you're hanging out in my studio and all. I'm going to give the floor to you, Tori.
Around New Year's Eve, because she shared a post on her Instagram. She's had...
On one side, you've got Angel Reese, often dubbed the Instagram queen, and on the other, Caitlin Clark, the definition of a relentless gym rat. The contrast couldn't be sharper. Picture this. Reese steps out at an event in a bold animal print gown with a sky-high slit, looking more like she's heading to the Oscars than representing a pro basketball team. Fans reacted instantly and not quietly. The backlash hit so hard that she reportedly wiped her entire Instagram. 1 minute you're posting flawless selfies, the next you're deleting everything in a flash. Meanwhile, Clark is locked in where it counts, inside the gym. No distractions, no spotlight chasing, just intense workouts and non-stop grind, pushing herself to levels that would leave even seasoned pros exhausted.
Let's face reality. She's going to be attached to Caitlin Clark to some degree. If Angel Reese had never waved her hand in her face when the salary that you were going to make as a WNBA player, I'm all for that. But here's what I have a problem with, Tori. Angel Reese, in doing the things that she has done, LSU was beaten Iowa for in the Final Four of the national championship. If that hadn't happened, Angel Reese's name might not be as big. Yes, she's a talent. Yes, she would have made the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, the reason I bring up Caitlin Clark is because they're attached at the hip with one another, which means they're ultimately going to be compared, Tori. And when you look at Caitlin Clark is balling. But in terms of her popularity, it really soared after she took down Caitlin Clark. And then Caitlin Clark came back last year and got revenge by knocking LSU out in the Elite Eight, if I remember.
Caitlin Clark isn't playing around. She's in the gym every single day, treating it like a full-time job. And here's the thing. She's not just maintaining her skills, she's evolving them. Like a true basketball scientist, she's experimenting,
building new moves and expanding her arsenal. She's developing a smooth mid-range floater that keeps defenders guessing, and she's putting serious work into her left hand, turning it into a real weapon. That's the kind of dedication that separates the good from the truly great. Meanwhile, while Angel Reese is caught up in social media moments, Clark is focused on results, helping push her team closer to the playoffs. One is navigating online drama, the other is celebrating wins with her teammates. Clark isn't just going through the motions either. She's grinding through high-intensity drills designed to handle pressure, finish strong, and dominate when it matters most.
We didn't have enough understanding of how to keep the moment going. And I do think that's what's different about what's happening now. I think we're learning from whether you talk about the 99ers with soccer. You know, for me, obviously, as a basketball player, it's that 96 women's team in Atlanta that started the WNBA. And again, it's kind of had some peaks and some valleys. And now, because of those learning curves, I guess, we understand that we have to keep pushing.
I think when you talk about the average salary, it was like approximately $124,000, if I remember correctly. Well, guess what? The average salary in the NBA is over $10 million. And we lamented the fact that she had to go overseas. Not Angel Reese, but Brittany Griner. She had to go overseas because, like a lot of them have had to over the years, you got to supplement your income because the income that you're making at the WNBA isn't nearly enough. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, to supplement your income by playing 3-on-3 basketball in the United States, in Miami specifically, for a few months where they're talking about...
It's almost like Caitlin Clark is preparing for battle, not just another game. Her mindset is intense. She's fully locked in on elevating every part of her game. And without taking unnecessary shots, the contrast is hard to ignore. While Angel Reese seems caught up in the spotlight, Clark is out there building a real reputation on the court. It's night and day, one chasing attention, the other chasing wins. And fans are starting to notice. Then things take a turn when Sue Bird steps into the conversation, and she doesn't hold back. Bird praises Clark's relentless grind, highlighting how she's putting in extra work behind the scenes, the kind no one sees. According to Bird, that level of dedication is exactly what separates future stars from everyone else. But when the focus shifts to Reese, the tone gets sharper. Bird makes it clear, without sugarcoating, that priorities matter. She suggests that focusing on the game has to come first, sending a strong message about what it really takes to succeed at the highest level. To drive the point home, Bird brings up LeBron James as the gold standard. Despite global fame and countless off-court commitments, LeBron never skips the work. The message? Greatness demands discipline, no matter how big your brand becomes. And then comes the real truth bomb. When your personal image starts to overshadow your performance, that's when problems begin. Bird's message is clear. Likes and followers won't win championships. What makes it even more compelling is that Bird isn't just talking about gym time. She points out how Clark balances everything: training, fan engagement, even community efforts, while still keeping basketball as her top priority. It's about focus, consistency, and showing up every single day. At the same time, Bird raises a bigger concern about the future of the league. Success in the WNBA isn't measured by social media buzz. It's defined by effort, discipline, and performance on the court. And here's the twist. This isn't just criticism. Bird is also offering guidance. When both rookies faced Olympic disappointment, she encouraged them to use that setback as motivation. Her message was simple but powerful. Let challenges fuel your growth, not define your limits.